earlier today, I made a video on Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light and how the whole backlash is coming to a culmination between both sides, where now you got the left and you have the right completely disavowing Bud Light for two opposite reasons. You have the right disavowing Bud Light for obvious reasons regarding Dylan Mulvaney, and now you have the left disavowing Bud Light because apparently now they're upset that Dylan Mulvaney was disavowed by the company in the latest earnings call. If you guys missed that video, it was the video before this one, so please go check it out so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But apparently now, I have an article pulled up from Block Club Chicago. I found this Googled, I don't even know what the hell website this is, but apparently Chicago gay bars have now stopped selling Bud Light and also other Anheuser-Busch beers after the brand backed down due to the anti-trans critics. Now, obviously, this website is very left-leaning, okay? Very, very left-leaning. I feel like I'm going to be called transphobic just by reading this article, let alone whatever. But yeah, it says, after backlash over the beer company partnering with transgender TikToker Dylan Mulvaney, the brand distanced itself from the star without addressing the transphobia. I'm not exactly sure what transphobia you're referring to. People are pretty much just pissed that they are getting literally pandered to when all they're trying to do is drink a beer. That's basically the only issue they have. But again, you want to call it transphobic because you're feeling some sort of way, and I would almost guarantee you're a white liberal writer. Let's see, are you a white liberal writer? Jake Wittich. Yeah, I would say you're probably a white liberal writer. Not shocked. So, of course, guys, before we get into the article, consider giving this video a like so you can push us out into the YouTube algorithm. It says a slew of Chicago gay bars have stopped selling Anheuser-Busch InBev products after the beer giant distanced itself from transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney's Bud Light marketing campaign amid anti-trans backlash. Now, here's the funny thing. This article is saying that the Dylan Mulvaney thing was a Bud Light marketing campaign. They said in the earnings call that it was not a campaign, that it was a one incident, one post, one kind of thing, one-off kind of a thing. It was not a campaign that was going to be continued after the fact. So for this person to call it a campaign is a little bit disingenuous. But again, they're not really doing their full research. They're just mad because Dylan Mulvaney is not being utilized anymore. It says Two Bears Tavern Group, which owns 4 gay bars from Uptown to Rogers Park, was the first to drop Anheuser-Busch InBev, posting an Instagram Thursday that its abandonment of Mulvaney amid controversy shows how little Anheuser-Busch cares about the LGBTQIA+ community, and in particular transgender people who have been under relenting attack in this country. They haven't been under relenting attack. See, that's the thing. They're confusing a lot of the laws that are being passed to prevent transgenderism for people under the age of 18 with, oh, all transgender people are being attacked, we're being killed, this, that, and the third. It's ridiculous, man. It's all fear-mongering because fear sells. You know what I mean? Fear definitely sells, and that's what they're trying to do with this whole scenario. Although I'm highly surprised that gay bars even had anything other than Bud Light in their repertoire. It said Sidetrack, a 41-year-old gay bar founded by LGBTQ rights pioneers Art Johnston and Jose Pepe Pina, later made the same announcement. We must also hold brands accountable if they take active steps against LGBTQ plus equality, visibility, and safety, Sidetrack posted. Wow, look at this amazing fucking post right here. Let's see what it says. In view of Anheuser-Busch InBev's abandonment of its support to transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney, the subsequent reprehensible and divisive comments by its CEO. How is it divisive? It was not divisive at all. He didn't say anything bad. All he said was that it wasn't a marketing campaign. It was just a one-off thing, and it didn't plan on following up with it. That's all they said. And Anheuser-Busch putting in an involuntary leave at least 2 marketing executives involved in a marketing campaign that celebrated Mulvaney's transgender journey. Two Bears Tavern Group is discontinuing all Anheuser-Busch InBev products, including Busch Light, Bud Light, and Goose Island 312. Anheuser-Busch's decision to drop its support of Mulvaney in response to ignorant and hateful objections by some of its customers show how little Anheuser-Busch cares about the LGBTQIA+ community, and in particular transgender people who have been under unrelenting attack in this country. Now, here's the amazing thing, okay? So it is a proven fact, just based off of the boycott and how much they're being affected, that the majority of the customers that drink Bud Light or in general Anheuser-Busch products, they're not LGBTQIA. I would argue they're just regular people, whatever you want to call them. I'll use your words, cisgendered people. They're just regular people. If they weren't, the boycott would not be as extreme as it is. Because if it was really a product that had a lot of gay people drinking it, then the boycott wouldn't have been that big of a deal because it would just be a couple of one-off people that would be complaining about it and boycotting it. But apparently, that's not the case. It is a massive amount of people that are against it, and that number is growing every single day. I know of some gay people that do not like the pandering that's coming from Dylan Mulvaney either, and they're also boycotting Bud Light because of it. So again, you have this idea that all gay people are on your side, and the fact of the matter is that is not the case. It says its CEO's statement, in which he all but erased transgender people in favor of anti-trans vitriol, was cruel and hurtful. How did he erase? This is what I'm talking about. This is the fear mongering, okay? This is the fear mongering that I'm talking about from people. They want you to really believe that the entire world is after you. Like if you're a trans person, they really want you to believe the entire world cares that much to be after you. When the funny thing is, they're just trying to protect children. That's all they're trying to do. The adults, they don't give a fuck. If you want to ruin your life, by all means, you're more than welcome to do so. Nobody would give a shit. The only problem is that you're constantly in people's face and you're in their face while at the same time telling them to leave you alone. That makes no sense. You can't do that. You cannot go to someone and be in their face and then also tell them to leave you alone. That is a fucking oxymoron, and that makes absolutely no sense. But that's exactly what the transgender activist community is doing, because there is two different versions. There is the real transgender community, and then there's the transgender activist community that's on Twitter, online, in person, whatever, and they're the ones who are in your face that are also telling you to leave them alone. It's ridiculous. But again, they have no proof that the CEO erased transgender people. It's such bullshit. It's all fear-mongering. CEO Brandon Whitworth's excuse that Anheuser-Busch never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people was tantamount to saying that the rights and safety of transgender people are topics worthy of debate. They are not. You cannot claim to support the LGBTQI community if you don't support the T, and saying that the rights and safety of transgender people are controversial says loud and clearly you don't support us. Whitworth went on to say he is responsible for ensuring every customer feels proud of the beer that brews, but we certainly do not feel proud of a beer or a company that chooses hate over acceptance and diversity. Since Anheuser-Busch does not support us, we will not support it. That's fine. That's fine, because if they do happen to gain the support of their old customer client base back, which I don't think they will, but if they did, they would far, far outnumber you. So it really wouldn't matter anyway. But again, I'm sure you know that. You're just trying to use this as a means to virtue signal and to be on the higher ground of moral superiority, which we all know you're really not. You're just trying to pretend. But I do love to see the utter just destruction that's happening to Bud Light because they decided to go woke. And unfortunately, now both sides hate them, which makes this even more hilarious. It says the gay bars no longer sell all Anheuser-Busch products, including Bud Light, Busch Light, and Goose Island 312. The controversy began after Anheuser-Busch partnered with Mulvaney for a sponsored post and launched a line of pride-themed cans with various pronouns, which was fucking stupid. Many took to social media to express transphobic outrage over the Mulvaney partnership, including an Instagram clip of country musician Kid Rock shooting 4 cases of Bud Light with a rifle and customers vowing they would stop drinking Bud Light. Others expressed support for Mulvaney and the campaign. Who's the others, by the way? Who are the others? I don't know of anybody that showed support for the campaign. And again, it's not even a campaign. They've publicly said it's not a campaign, but you keep calling it. It says, but Anheuser-Busch CEO Michael Dukakis addressed the controversy during an earnings call with investors Thursday and distanced the brand from Mulvaney, according to Yahoo Finance. We need to clarify the facts that this was one can, one influencer, one post, and not a campaign, which is what I was saying before. So again, I'm glad this article actually mentioned it, because it looks like they weren't mentioning it. But I don't know why they called it a campaign in the beginning of the article then, if they know that the CEO just said that it wasn't a campaign. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to showcase to you guys a couple of examples of how Bud Light is getting destroyed from both sides and how it's only going to get worse. I can only imagine. I mean, their sales are down tremendously. They lost $5 billion in market value, and it's only going to get worse, man. And nothing they say or do is going to change anything at this point, because they took too long to apologize. So apologizing is not going to change nothing. And they took too long to admit that they never should have done it in the first place. And they came out with these cringe pro-American ads after the fact that everybody could see right through, and they just need to go back to the drawing board. I hope that for their sake they can pull through, but honestly, I want to see the downfall because they deserve it. All these woke, stupid companies deserve it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.